Well, good evening, actually. We're in APJ time. Morning from Europe.
Besides the normal people, we have their duplicates with the read notes, right? So
exactly. I know, I'm just looking at that. We've got some AI note takers.
we have Paolo Almeida also in the meeting.
Yeah.
Morning, Paolo.
Not stop being here to wish you luck and also to listen. All good?
All good. All good. Okay. We are currently at 102. So I know we're still waiting for Justin to join.
Justin is here. I can see he's.
Is he here?
Yep, I'm in the call.
Oh, hi,
No,
Justin.
not so.
I apologize. There's a lot of people. Okay, so I think let's kick off. We're 3 minutes in. If there's any more, I'll just add as we go. So thank you everyone for joining. Today is the SAP MyWave webinar that we have put together. And again, apologies about the link earlier. There are 245 people on this invite, and I think Teams had a little bit of a panic attack. So I'm glad we're all getting into the room. So for today's agenda, Justin's going to start off giving us an overview of, why MyWave has been brought on as a piece of innovation for the SMB and mid-market area. And then Steve is going to go from there in terms of talking about MyWave and give you a bit of an introduction. You might have seen some of this at the summits, but we've got some new examples from other partners on the types of waves and processes that they are creating with MyWave. And then I will finish off with talking about the assets that SAP and MyWave have given to you as a partner in order to market and also create, customer days for your net new and your install base of your customers. And if you're not a partner of MyWave, there will be an opportunity for you to scan a QR code at the end, and then we will get that notification and have a deeper conversation with you offline. But yes, if you're an existing partner of MyWave, welcome. You probably have seen a lot of this before, but exciting times ahead. So I think I will hand over to Justin.
Hello, Justin.
Hi, sorry, can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Hey, awesome. So before I start, big thanks to everybody in APJ for turning up to join the call. I know it's quite late for some of you, right? It is 7 p.m. for our ANZ partners, or even later if they are in New Zealand, right? It is 6 p.m. for our Japan partners, right? So big thanks to everybody for showing up to join the webinar. Right? Building on what Chelsea has said, right? From a SAP's perspective, we recognize that GenAI is a very important topic for a lot of your customers, right? And at SAP, we also recognize that this is a topic that we need to have strong emphasis on, right? For SAP Business One, we are in a unique position because we do not have any plans at this point in time to develop our own GenAI solution, right? Which is why we are partnering together with MyWave to take their solutions to our install base as well as to our net new customers, right? So the objective is really for the MyWave team to give an update as to what has been happening since the last time we spoke at the summit, what has been ongoing, what are the new waves which are being generated, right? So that everybody can take stock, evaluate, right? And of course, like what Chelsea mentioned, if you are not already a MyWave partner, there will also be the opportunity to sign up, right? So today is really about all of this knowledge sharing so that we can jointly, as one B1 APJ and GC ecosystem, go out into the market to make more splashes and of course to make more waves, right? So big thanks again everybody for joining. And I hope that you find out what you need to from today's session with the MyWave team.
Thank you, Justin. Good morning to everybody. Good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are. And my name is Steve Govaya. For those that don't know me, I was part of SAP for 27 years. And since August this year, I joined MyWave and at the role of Global VP for the small and mid-sized businesses. And my biggest or first task is to grow the channel of MyWave within the Business One, and not only Business One, but within Business One ecosystem. So let me quickly open my presentation. I will share my presentation. Can you see my screen?
You can see a mountain. Now we can see the screen.
Steve, you've gone on mute. I don't know what happened.
Okay.
There we
Am I
go.
now hearing? Okay, awesome. So as Justin said, MyWave is currently partnering with Business One to bring generative AI to our solution, to the SAP Business One solution. How did MyWave start? MyWave is a company that started 9 years ago from Geraldine McBride. She was the former president CEO of SAP in North America and Asia Pacific. And Geraldine left SAP at that time to create MyWave because at that time, SAP was distracted with the S4 preparations and all of that, and was not looking at the new technologies. So right now, with the strategy of generative AI not taking in consideration the on-premise world from SAP, especially Business One, the product management organization from Business One late last year decided to invite 4 platforms for AI platforms for a use case in order to determine which is the best or which platform we should work together with Business One. And from those 4, Microsoft, IBM, Google, and MyWave was the only platform that filled in all of those boxes needed to fulfill the use case. And for that, after that, SAP started working directly and in a close collaboration with MyWave to build the integration between Business One and MyWave to build specific improvements in the business processes that we'll see later on. And so this is how it started, our partnership late last year, and grew during the summits and the interest of our partners. So we have today more than 70 foundation partners working with Business One and MyWave. And for that, thank you for those that are in the call. And for the new ones, we have to welcome you on board, and we will for sure onboard you to create new waves with us. In terms of generative AI and the enterprise, in the last 27 years or maybe 20 years, we experienced the people-driven enterprise. We have seen the centralization and standardization of processes, offshoring, nearshoring. All of this happened at the end of the 90s and the first decade of 2000s, with the DevOps, anywhere shoring, etc. We have all experienced that because we are in the business since that time. But 9 years ago, we started with the generative enterprise. We start seeing generative enterprise. It was the dawn of the RPA and the process mining, machine learning. We have seen all of that coming to our solutions. And most recently, last year, for example, we had the generative AI, and now we are at the tip of this S curve, this S productivity curve with the agentic AI. And why are we mentioning the agentic AI? Because MyWave is an agentic AI platform. It's an autonomous execution solution that allows the customers to orchestrate complex processes. The agentic AI foundation models, Gartner created a front end or a framework of different categories of applications, because we have hundreds and hundreds of AI solutions in the world, but it was necessary to organize those AI platforms in the different categories. And the foundation models, what we call the large language models, they are just large language models. Basically, they are important to collect the intent of the users and to generate content. The LLMs on their own, they are just probabilistic platforms. So they don't execute processes. They most of the times they are right, but they are also wrong when they produce the content, and they are not ready to execute the processes. For that, you need to have an agentic AI. The LLMs are very great to generate this content, as I mentioned, connecting or fusing the ChatGPTs of the world, or the Mistrals, the Llamas. So these large language models with the agentic process domain models, that MyWave is one of them, we are able to bring those processes and execute those processes with reliability and with quality. The agentic AI right now is also helping the partners speeding up the delivery of those developments, of those improvements in 75 to 85%, and reducing the cost of those developments in the traditional method. We probably have developers saying that they can do it faster, but the reality is showing us that this is not the case. So what we have right now is a paradigm shift for the businesses. We are seeing partners that are jumping to these agentic AI foundation models, and they are quickly creating new ways of building processes. We have partners doing this in just a couple of days, and they have a new process model working on top of the existing Business One. So we are now in the third phase of the AI. It started 2015, right, with the documenting workflow elements, creating basic checkbots. We remember back in that time when the Business One team had some examples of the recast solution or the conversational AI from SAP. So it was a long time ago. We have also data mining, pattern recognition, etc. The foundation AI started 9 years ago or so. Last year, we had a huge improvement with the generative AI, unsupervised learning, the possibility to develop code using LLMs. We had also the ability to generate dynamic chatbots and continually correlate data sources to drive decision-making with probabilistic decisions. Now we are in the third phase of AI, which is the purposeful AI. So the AI is taking independent actions to operate within the human-defined boundaries. So we are embracing principles of the large action models, bringing the agentic AI co-workers in order to automate these complex workflows and to support the management and their decision-making. And this is where MyWave is positioning, and it has been recognized by Gartner since last year as the leader or one of the leaders in their quadrant of the domain process models. MyWave is one of the leaders in that quadrant, and it's been mentioned in several papers from Gartner. Last week, for example, we were at the Gartner symposium, and the success and the interest of all the quadrants of the participants was huge. So we came very excited from that symposium at Gartner, because it shows us that we are in the right path. and the partners that are joining with us, they will definitely be in the right path. Also, McKinsey is saying and documenting the definition of the coworker, right? What is the AI coworker? Basically, a company is a software company is capable of orchestrating complex workflows, as I mentioned before, coordinating these activities among multiple agents. So our platform is able to coordinate other agents to execute the processes. We bring logic and we execute in the execution of the decisions. We are bringing the guardrails to those processes so that the human is always in control of the decisions. So these agents automate the processes, augmenting the capacity of working of your employees, and customers are fully digitalizing the processes and services. So this is the definition that McKinsey is bringing forward, which is consubstantiating our own vision of bringing the coworker to augment the processes of the end users. And what does this mean? Imagine that you are in the sales department of your company and you receive hundreds of emails placing orders. What will you do when you receive those hundreds of emails like this? I want to order 30 cases of this wine for this price. Can you confirm? So basically you open Business One and you start typing that order in the Business One form. With MyWave, we created this custom wave. With MyWave, we just copy the content of the email into the prompt, and then we execute the process. The information that it's not available in that email, it's the human deciding. So MyWave asks the human to take the decision. And you have seen how fast it was to create a sales order compared to the normal menu-driven process creation. Okay. The labor arbitrage is coming to an end. What does this mean? During the last years, it was the large system integrators. They have been using offshores and they have been using BPOs and managed services as a way to lower the cost of their services. So the people cost a lot all over the world, and the ability to squeeze more margin out of those BPOs and managed services is tough. Using agentic AI, our waves in the process models and operations, you can deliver 75% faster or 85% lower cost to the traditional methods. The waves also mean that you can be more efficient with your own BPO if you have, or managed services if you do that for your customers. Gartner has highlighted this as the big new white space for partners, and they can combine, as you partners can combine your own services with rapid and repeatable agentic AI processes within your organizations. So this means more money, less people, better margins, and ongoing IP revenue beyond the services that you include in your processes. So the world is definitely shifting and fast. How is MyWave deployed or set up in your customers? So we have the large language model, as we mentioned before. A GPT 3.5 is the one that we are supporting, but it can be any other LLM. You just need to do a project to adopt the other LLM connected to our platform that executes the smart dynamic process flows. We call them the waves. And using the service layer of Business One with the APIs of Business One to generate the processes. If we have other applications, other platforms that are non-SAP platforms that are also in the landscape of the customer, we can just upload the APIs of those platforms, and you can build processes using not only the SAP Business One or the SAP solutions or the non-SAP solutions. From the work we did with SAP so far, we created a starter pack. The starter pack is the first SKU that the partners can resell to their customers. It's a combination of 7 waves: conversational expense recording, update manufacturer code, AI invoice creation, activity creation, service call, master data maintenance, and request for approval. This is sold in blocks of 10 users to your customers. You can bring this immediately from the beginning, not only for in new customers, but also and especially to the existing customers. An example of this, of one of these waves, is the service call creation, similar to what we have seen with the sales order creation. When you receive an email from the customers, you just copy the content of that email into MyWave, right, which is a web extension that will be available both on the web client and the FAT client of Business One. MyWave is determining or finding that the information is missing. So he asks the user, where is the email address? We execute. It gives us a summary of all the information that he validated. So all of these fields have been validated in the Business One or any other platform that is integrated. And to finalize it, it asks who is going to process this service call. And you select the agent, and the service call is created. So it's very simple process, and brings a very interesting return on the investment, because partners will be able to speed up the customers' processes immediately with the starter pack. Another example, this is a custom wave. We created this together with a partner here in Europe that has customers with extensive sales people traveling, and the creation of this visit report is something that takes a lot of time, and most of the sales people do not do these visit reports because it takes time. So we created a wave that simply allows the customers to create this visit report. Pressing the button, and this is speech to text. It allows you to just speak to your mobile phone, to the MyWave application, and the LLM is translating this to text, and afterwards is executing and generating a very nice visit report, and also with the sentiment analysis from this visiting report that can also be added to this. So as you can see, if you have a visit of your customers and you are just coming to the car, you press the button of MyWave, and the speech, you speak to your mobile phone, and you can easily create this visit report and not having to be typing in the Business One transaction. So this is also accelerating more than 60% of a normal day of working from the customers. One additional example, this is in fact from S4 Public Edition, how to create a maintenance request. So we ask MyWave, we text everything in the prompt, maintenance needed for the equipment, 1710 CW, whatever. It's making a noise, clanking noise, it's hissing, and it's like an internal leaking or something. We are just describing what is happening, and MyWave is going to execute the creation of the maintenance request on S4. You select the information that is not available, you update it, and the maintenance request is done. If you are familiar with creating a maintenance request on S4, and in fact I did that for 12 months last year in my previous role, this is a huge improvement in the way it works. Right now, we are able to integrate with these systems of records. But if you have any other system of records that you want to integrate, you just make those APIs available, and we upload it to our Innovation Hub. That is the platform where the partners develop the waves and bring these improvements to the customers. So we have all the APIs of Business One available. We have the APIs of By Design, Acumatica, Hivet, ECC, Sage, S4HANA, Shopify, and Monday CRM. And Salesforce also will be available during this quarter. One more example, and I think this one, most of you will be successful when you discuss this to your customers. What happens when you have to create a business partner to your customers? First, you probably have to check if they have any duplicates, right? In order to not compromise the quality of data of your master data. So since there's no duplicates, what you do, you create it as a lead, the information that you need, or you start typing it in. If you don't know, you just go to a website. In this case, in the UK, there is a governmental website where all of this information is available, and you start copying it from the one website to the Business One master data. This is very prone to errors. If you make a mistake in copying the content, you are propagating mistakes also inside your business. So you need to be very thorough and careful in doing this. And as you can see, the time is ticking, and to create those master data. One thing that is also necessary is to evaluate the level of credit or the quality of credit. So they enter credit safe and extract the credit score from this customer. So it takes quite some time to do this process. If you want to have it very thorough and with quality, if you have dozens of customers to create after a trade fair or something, it takes a lot of time from the end user to do this. With MyWave, we created this domain process model with NTT, and the process is as simple as this one. Create a record for this text number. The information is being popped up to the user, but all of these steps can be shown in a summary page at the end. We wanted to show you step by step what is extracting from the multiple platforms without leaving the MyWave user experience. Everything is here, and now it's collecting the credit score from Credit Safe without leaving MyWave or spending time logging in to a different solution. The final example, before moving to Chelsea, so marketing topics. Aclaros in Canada wanted to create a process to determine the minimum inventory of a particular material. So they created a wave that does this on behalf of the user. Update minimum inventory by what? By item group. Very good. Let's continue. And MyWave is determining the next steps. They are going to select all of those steps together with the user. If the MyWave already learned those steps the second time, those validations won't happen because he knows what he has to do. Now he's asking what is the service level score. We are selecting 90%, and it's going to execute it. Currently 17, the minimum should be 3, so they are selecting what they want to place. So they are moving it to 3, and it's done. Very conversational, no longer the menu-driven interfaces that the users are not happy anymore to leverage these days. And if we refresh it, you will see that it changed here from 17 to 3 the minimum inventory level. So this is another example of what you can do with the calculation of MyWave in the background. So to conclude this part, the agentic AI platforms are redefining the enterprise applications. Right now, you are seeing hundreds of news around the world talking about agentic AI. Some of those news are not agentic AI, they are just chatbots with an LLM or an RPA with an LLM. The pure agentic AI platforms allow you to have these guardrails and in the execution of the processes, rapidly solving this tech debt. So bringing this to Business One, we are helping Business One to be state of the art to their customers again, and using the generative AI, replacing the traditional user experience, the menu-driven user experience, unifying silos, orchestrating data from anywhere, eliminating this human error and this rekeying of information from one system to the other, and for sure reinventing business process outsourcing if this is in your businesses. So with that, thank you very much, and I will pass to Chelsea to continue with the marketing topic. Chelsea, stage is yours.
Thank you so much, Steve. Also, Steve, we've got a couple of questions in the chat. I don't know if you wouldn't mind addressing those while I speak so that we can hit two birds with one stone. Yes. Hi, everyone. I didn't introduce myself in the beginning. I'm the Client Partner Director at MyWave. I'm based in London, but I'm part of the process of onboarding you as a partner, ensuring that you have everything you need in order to sell MyWave, as well as, you know, supporting in those customer conversations and, you know, how you price it, because a big part of adding MyWave to your Business One or BYD experience is you guys can make money too from adding MyWave. So with collaboration with SAP, we have created these assets, and SAP has been incredible in terms of supporting you as a partner to have these conversations with your customers about MyWave and adding generative AI onto the experience and upgrading the B1 experience. So this is what you will see in your partner portal. This is for the install base. I'm not going to go through every asset. It's just a snapshot of the packages that you can use. So there's loads of assets within that. There's landing page copy, email copy, event email templates, social media content, and also a plan and calendar overview in order to support your efforts to have these conversations with customers. The next slide, sorry, Steve, would you mind just moving across?
Yes.
The next slide is for the net new names, and this is similar in the sense of having these assets in order to support these conversations. So there's slightly different messaging across all of this, but this includes, you know, a video, emails, again, landing page copy, social media, in order to get the word out about MyWave and adding AI to the experience. And then the last page is just about talking about how MyWave can support you in these conversations. So what we are trying to do with all of our partners who are existing, and as Steve mentioned, we have about 70 partners around the globe, but we understand that you have resource issues and that there are times where, you know, you have developers or consultants or program managers who are on other projects. So MyWave is willing to help and consult in those conversations. So in parallel with your colleagues being trained, we can also support with the Wave Factory, which is our team helping you build these waves. This is a briefing document that we've created in order to get the customer specs of what they want to do for their processes. And you would basically submit this to us. I'm happy to join a call. Steve can also join a call to do that discovery of what your customer is needing. And that way you get to market a lot quicker than waiting for everyone to be trained and, you know, familiar with the MyWave technology before moving on. So this is how we're supporting in parallel. But I think that it's really important that you train your people at the same time so that you're able to maintain and support those wave processes in the future, because that way you've got the knowledge of the technology. And as MyWave grows and evolves and we have these new releases of capabilities, your people are trained on the technology from the start, knowing how to use it. So then on the last page as well, I've put 2 QR codes here. So on the left is where you can download our ebook. This is where Geraldine wrote an ebook with Gartner on agentic AI and how it dispels all the stories of how, you know, agentic AI is similar to RPA and how other systems are, you know, comparable, because it is a very noisy environment. But this is where MyWave is unique. We're a leader in this. Steve mentioned that we were in Gartner last week in Orlando sponsoring the event, and we were told by so many other vendors and exhibitors and attendees that there's nothing out there like MyWave. So it's a very, very unique kind of software in order for you guys to get firsthand on, because we started with SAP. So have a look at that, have a read if you have any questions. And then on the right-hand side, you will see a QR code in order to show your interest to be a partner of MyWave. You will need to be a partner in order to sell MyWave. We have partners around the world where we have created centers of excellence. So we've got one in New Zealand, one in the UK, and one in the US who can support in some of those trainings. But it is important that you are a partner in order to have the technology to deploy to your customers. So we have 5 more minutes. I don't know if there's any questions. Feel free to unmute yourself. I know that there's been stuff in the chat, but if there's anything that we haven't covered, please let Steve and I know, and we'd be happy to answer.
So we have here some questions. Chelsea, what should we do to enable the AI feature of Business One? Because this is the first time I've seen. So you need to become a partner, as Chelsea mentioned. And during this onboarding of partnership, you will learn how to use the Innovation Hub and how to create those waves. So just get in contact with us and we will have our presentation. We have the agreement to become a partner, and we start our partnership very, very simply. So you need to be, as you mentioned, you need to be a partner. It's available for on-premise customers and in-cloud customers. So we don't have any distinction. It needs to be customers on 10.0 that use the service layer. The cost, the approximate cost. So in terms of commercially speaking, MyWave has a partnership fee that gives you access to the Innovation Hub, to the platform where you create those ways and that innovation. Also gives you access to the training and to the support. This partnership fee right now and until the end of November, we are calling it the foundation partners or the founding partners of MyWave. We have a special campaign until the end of November, and it is 210 euros per month for this partnership fee. So if you want to really leverage that, just hurry up and let us know, and we start the onboarding of your partnership. And after November, we are definitely going to stop these discounts on our partnership, but we are also adding 10 users to this Innovation Hub and the development of waves free of charge from our innovation center, center of excellence, so our wave factory. In terms of more pricing, the starter pack is sold in packs of 10 users, so 75 euros per month for these 10 users, and the partners have 50% discount. So these are the conditions that we keep for the founding partners, and those conditions are kept for 3 years if you want. Example, one customer account has more than 5 databases. How is this generative apps cost to apply? So MyWave integrates with all the databases of Business One, so we can connect to multiple instances of Business One. So just need to tell us which users are using the different waves, and we count them as such. I wonder if they charge per account or just total cost. If you can explain what you mean with this question online, I really appreciate, because I didn't understand the question. Any demo version? No, there's no demo version available. You need to become our partners to have access to the Innovation Hub and do the testing yourself during the training process. Who we need to contact to be a partner? Myself and Chelsea. So that's very easy. We are here to onboard you and make sure that you are one of our founding partners. Which version of Business One? I mentioned 10.0, both SQL and HANA. Okay, there's no difference between that. So you already wrote the email addresses. Chelsea, thank you. What is the partnership fee? I already mentioned it. You also wrote it. Wow, you are faster than me, Chelsea.
I'm trying to cover as many as possible, Steve, but I think your detail is adding value. So yes, all the questions coming in. We've got 1 more minute.
Yeah, so if you want to close with the events and the marketing material, how to get it and to do it, just do that.
Absolutely. Let's take that final question. And if there's any further questions, feel free to email me and Steve. I've put our email addresses in the chat. But yes, those assets that I spoke about, yes, you can promote MyWave on your website. You'll need to be a partner in order to do that. And those assets that I mentioned for the install base and net new, that should be on your partner portal, and you can access those assets via your channel manager.
Okay. So we have a final question, the difference between BTP and MyWave, but I think this needs a longer session to explain. So if you want to send me an email, and we can set a call to discuss the difference between one platform and MyWave. Okay.
Brilliant. Thank you everyone for joining. Really appreciate it. We had 173 people, maybe a few note-taker AIs as well, but really appreciate your time. Thank you. I know it's late for a lot of you, and please feel free to reach out to us if you have any other questions, and looking forward to hearing from you. Yeah. Thanks everyone.
And don't leave everything to the last minute, because then we are in the last month of the quarter and you will be busy closing deals. So let's use this November month to bring you up to speed, and let's close those partnerships and be ready to bring generative AI to the Business One customers still in 2024. Thank you very much, and look forward to listen to you and having your contacts really soon. Bye-bye.
Thanks everyone. Bye.